Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Rips Report by Eastland County Today. I'm your host, Levi Freeman, and today we are joined with the CEO of Eastland Memorial Hospital, Clay Taylor, in one of their conference rooms here. It's a privilege to be with you. Heard a lot about you, and we're going to dig into kind of your experience here, and you've kind of taken over as you're the CEO of Eastland Memorial Hospital here in just over, it's been a little over half a year now. So we're going to dig into a lot of that, and we thank you for joining the program today. And first of all, just could you tell our audience at home just a little bit about yourself and kind of your roots here in Eastland? And I kind of heard, through the grapevine that you were on the '82 Eastland State Championship football team, and kind of talk a little bit about that experience and maybe how that impacts your life at all still today.
Well, I am a 1984 graduate of Eastland High School. Fortunately, I did graduate. A lot of people might think that's not the case, but I did graduate. And when I think about the 1982 football team, it makes me feel really old. You think back, that's 43 years ago, and I don't like to think of myself as being 43 plus 18 or however old I was back then. But I think probably one of the things it taught me was not to leave a football game early. If you remember that team, we won 3 or 4 games in the final minutes during that season, or during the playoffs actually. But that was a lot of fun times. We moved here in 1976. From South Texas, and moved here in 5th grade, and finished school here, and very happy and proud to be a Eastland alumni. So it's been good.
Yes, yeah, that was the Magic Mavs back then. So it's good to actually be with a contributor to that magical time here in Eastland. There's still magical things happening in Eastland and still to come, I believe, and we're happy to have you back.
Well, I don't know how much of a contributor I was, but I was on the team. There you go.
I understand that perspective. So what exactly would you say motivated you to come back to Eastland? With all your leadership experience you've had in the healthcare profession, I understand that you've worked in leadership roles in Denver City, Texas, and more recently all the way in big city of Lubbock, Texas. So maybe talk a little bit about that experience and kind of what brought you home.
Well, I started my healthcare career in 1998, so almost 30 years ago now, 28 years ago, I guess now, in Denver City, Texas. And if you don't know where Denver City, Texas is, it's a little small dot almost to New Mexico, just east of Hobbs, New Mexico, actually.
Okay.
I took a job there. I was working for the city of Abilene in their finance department, and they advertised for a CFO in Denver City, and I was looking to make a change to what I was doing, and on a wild hair just decided to apply, and I guess they didn't have any other good applicants, so they hired me, and I started off there as a CFO and worked my way, stayed there 11 years in Denver City, and worked my way up to a CEO position, and then left there in, I think, 2009, and moved to another CFO role in Brownfield, which is a little bit bigger, and then spent about 5 years in Plainview, and the last 10 years or so I've been at the Covenant Children's Hospital in Lubbock, so pediatric hospital, which I really enjoyed. But this is a job that I had actually applied for in the past, right after I got into healthcare. I applied for this job, and probably fortunate for Eastland, I didn't get it at that point because I didn't have nearly the experience that I have now. But when this position came open, I thought, it's time to slow down a little bit. My wife and I are not too far away from retirement, but we decided that we would try something new and go back to a smaller town, quieter town, not nearly as much traffic, and if you've ever lived in Lubbock, not nearly as much dirt in Eastland as there is in Lubbock. We had a little Lubbock wind last week, but there's no dirt to go along with it. So
right.
we bought
Right.
us a place out at the lake, and we're enjoying it, and we're happy to be here, and we hope to be here till it's time to call it quits. So
Awesome. Well, it's great to see that you've, took a chance and worked your way up and spent the time where you needed to, and now you have that experience and you get to, really enjoy where you're at now, and that's great to see, and still be building a promising future here for us in Eastland as well. And thank you for your committed service in a needed field. Could you walk us through a typical day, if there is such a thing, for the CEO position here at Eastland Memorial Hospital?
well, I would probably say there is no typical day. Every day is a little bit different. There is the typical issues that you deal with and the problems that come up. A lot of meetings for the CEO. Fortunately, I don't place my hands on any patients, and they're really grateful for that. But we deal with the doctors and the nurses and the lab workers and radiology and all the various departments that go into supporting healthcare. And my typical day is just trying to support them as best I can and give them the tools that they need to be successful and to provide the best patient care that we can. So
Yeah.
that takes many different forms, and many different things have to be done. But it's my goal to kind of coordinate that, or my job to kind of coordinate that and make sure that our people have what they need to do the best job they can.
Yeah, and it's totally understandable that those needs are constantly changing and you're having to prioritize, maybe, switching things around, and I'm sure your schedule, you might think you're going in one day with this meeting, but then something comes up, and that's part of the job being the CEO, is being able to have that leadership and flexibility and the know-how and experience to take charge in that. So I get that as well. So you've been here, like I said, a little bit over half a year now. What has been your main focus so far since taking over?
Really my main focus has been to understand the operations, to really understand what we have going on, to dig into what's needed, and to try to understand the different aspects of Eastland and the different needs of Eastland, and to try to figure out what we can do to expand and to help the community with their health care, and what we need from a standpoint of equipment, or from a standpoint of staffing, or from a standpoint of physicians, or whatever that is. So I've really been learning, I would say, for the last 6 months, and now it's time to put some of that to work. I think we've done some good things in the last few months, and looking forward to expanding the services here. So that's where I've been spending most of my time over the last 6 months.
Yeah, no, it's anybody, new, to any position, there's always going to be a learning curve. There's an adjustment, just even getting to know all your staff and building those connections as well is important, and takes time to actually build those roots again. So makes sense. And we're going to talk about some of those initiatives going on in a moment, and see what kind of your future, what the future is in store under your leadership. What are you most proud of at this moment, though, here at Eastland Memorial Hospital?
I think probably the employees that we have, the caregivers. They have a real heart for healthcare. They have a real heart for this community. And I think that's one thing that you get in a smaller community, a smaller hospital, is more direct. We're treating our neighbors. We're treating people that we see at the grocery store, at church on Sunday, that we see at the stock show like they had last week.
Yes.
So it's neighbors treating neighbors, and I think that's probably what makes me the most proud is it's our caregivers have a heart for people, and it's not just somebody that comes into the emergency room, or somebody that is treated on the floor, or wherever that is. So I think that's the nice thing about small hospitals, and the nice thing about the employees that we have, and that's probably what makes me the most proud.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's great to go in and know that they actually care about you, and you know that, and it's not just a sign on the on the wall, something like that. So that it can be in some places, and still can provide great care, but it always helps to know that they know you. So yeah, I think that's a wonderful answer. How do you and your staff like to get involved in the greater Eastland community?
Well, I think by the nature of what we do, we're always involved in the community.
Absolutely.
From the emergency room through all the healthcare that we provide to the community. I think that is our job, is to be involved in the community. We do certain things. I know we've had the race, the 5K race that we had recently, or back during the fall, I guess it was.
Yeah.
So we have different things like that. We've done. Our physicians in town have provided free physicals, sports physicals for the high school kids, and some of that. So that at no charge.
Right.
So that's some of the ways that we try to give back, is through what can we do healthcare related, and not necessarily just healthcare related, but that's our main focus, is what can we give back in that regard.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll have to get back on the running game. I participated in that a few years ago, and it hasn't worked out with my schedule recently, but I love the 5K run, and getting involved with that as well. And it does promote health, and hopefully keeps me out of the out of the doctor's office as a little bit more.
You can look at me and tell I haven't been a runner in a long time, but maybe I need to get back to that. So we'll see.
There's also the wellness center here as well there. So many ways that you give and have opportunities for the community to better their lives. So what do you see? I know you spoke about a benefit of and kind of a strength for rural healthcare has been that kind of personal touch that we talked about, and maybe there might be something else that you see either here or in your experience working for rural healthcare, and what seems to be some challenges that tend to creep up for rural healthcare providers, and what can we do about that?
Well, one of the challenges for any rural healthcare is resources. From whether that's resources from dollars, or whether that's resources from access to specialty or specialty care. Those are always the issues or the challenges that come up. One of the big challenges we have is neurology right now. But it's not just unique to us. There's your neurology challenges in Abilene. In fact, there are no neurologists in Abilene at this point.
Wow.
So if there's none in Abilene, there's certainly not that coverage in Eastland, Texas. So some of the ways that we're trying to go around some of that is with telemedicine. And we've recently joined a couple of consortiums that provide telemedicine to the community. And one is a telepsych program that we're starting with Texas Tech University. It's a program that's sponsored through Torch, Texas Organization of Rural and Community Hospitals. So that will be up and running in the next few weeks. And that will provide psychology services specifically for people that may come into the emergency room or may come into our clinic. There's also some telemedicine that we're looking into as far as the neurology product. They have neurology, and they have orthopedics, and they have different things. But that's one of the benefits, I think, that we got out of COVID, because prior to COVID, telemedicine was not a very big product in Texas anyway.
Right.
And then once everyone, maybe that's the only benefit we got out of COVID, but everyone had to basically get used to being treated via the phone, or not via video or whatever it was.
Right.
So telemedicine has really taken off, and I'm excited about what it's going to allow us to do here in Eastland for our citizens of the county, and it should be really good. We're going to be able to add a lot of services, I think, just via telemedicine. So looking forward to that. That'd be great.
And then, just a side question with that. So that telemedicine, they could have like a primary care physician here, or the specialist here, and they could be communicating with each other in that way.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we will set up some rooms probably in the regional clinic that can be used for telemedicine, have the equipment in them and so on and so forth, and then they can come in. I don't know, nowadays they even have a stethoscope that they can place on you, and
Wow.
they can tell, what your heartbeat is and other things from
Wow.
500 miles away or whatever it is. So
Well, let,
it's exciting, but I think we're going to be able to offer a lot of new services through it.
that's very exciting news. Welcome news. Those types of advancements are desperately needed, and very very excited, and thank you for your continued work in that department. Um, let's see here. What are some services or departments here at Eastland Memorial Hospital that residents might not realize are available locally right now? Maybe they just, they go to Abilene, they go to Fort Worth, Weatherford, Stephenville, somewhere else, and getting things, but it's here, y'all.
Probably we added, the first one I would say is we probably added general surgery back towards the end of last year, first part of December. We had not had general surgery in the hospital here, and it may not be exactly right, but around 4 years, I believe, something like that. So we hired Dr. Law, Tanmay Law, and he is here 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. And general surgery would be the first one that we have up and going. We have hired a new cardiologist that will start March 1st. So that is a service that we will have. We had a cardiologist from from Abilene,
Okay.
that came in on pretty much a weekly basis, 1 day a week. But Dr. Billy Don Jones will be here starting March 1st. He's from Brownwood,
Okay.
so a local guy. He'll be here March 1st, and he'll be here alternating between 3 and 4 days every week. So that's a new service that we added. We hired a new pediatrician. It's at our regional clinic. She started, back in December, November, somewhere back in there.
Okay.
But her business is growing. So, I know a lot of parents take their kiddos to Abilene to see a pediatrician.
Right.
And Dr. Baird is actually, she worked for Cook Children's in Fort Worth, and she came highly recommended from the people at Cook Children's. So we're very proud to have her here and happy to have her here, and love the fact that we can treat the pediatric patients as well. And like I said, I spent my last 10 years in pediatrics, and it's very near and dear to my heart, the kiddos, and making sure that they receive the best care they can. So those are probably 3 service lines that we've added in the last 6 months that people may not know about, and people certainly would be happy to help them.
Well, that covers a lot of ground. If you get general surgery here and pediatric care, that that, and plus, like we talked about, exciting things coming in the telehealth department as well. So very exciting. Yeah. So you don't have to go. I mean, obviously specialists and stuff. But if you're check out Eastland Memorial Hospital, first before you make that drive, and see if somebody local can take care of you. So what are you and your staff working on now to improve care and outcomes? I know we talked about that telemedicine and telehealth coming up. Is there anything else that you know of, or things maybe even further down the line that you would like to see, but just don't have all the ducks in a row quite yet?
Well, we're working on a few things. Obviously, we're always working on our quality to make sure our quality is the best it can be, and we've won awards from the state on our quality and been very highly rated in our quality. But we're looking at adding some more services, potentially orthopedic surgery. We have a Dr. McAngus now that comes up from Stephenville. She has done some cases here, but we're working to get her to provide more cases where you can have orthopedic surgery here instead of having to drive somewhere. That's probably the next specialty that we're looking at, what we can do. So there's a few things that we're not really ready to talk about quite yet.
Yeah, yeah,
But we're always looking to see what services make sense. I mean, we're never going to do certain things in Eastland
yeah.
because it doesn't make sense. But those things that we can do and those things that it makes sense to do here, we want to provide care as close to home as possible. So,
Right. Well, very, very exciting. We'll touch back. We expect to be back, and maybe who knows? I don't want to put a time on it, but we'll be back and visit with you on some of the updates to come and how things are progressing. And so, what would you say makes your staff, your doctors, your nurses, all your employees really stand out? And like you said, you've just been winning some quality awards from the state, and that's fantastic to hear. And what do you think is allowing them to win those types of awards?
I think it's the dedication to the people that use us or that we provide services to. I think it's dedication to their neighbors, like we talked about earlier. It's the personal touch. It's the you are a person to me. You're not a number, as you mentioned earlier, and you are somebody that I want to that I want to see do the best they can because I am going to see you at the grocery store, or I'm going to see you at the football game, or I'm going to see you wherever. So
Right.
I think it's just the dedication to the community and the hospital that has been best for me. So
Yeah. No, it's wonderful to see that kind of circle back, and everybody genuinely caring for each other, and customers caring to learn more even about their doctors, their nurses, knowing who they are, and so it goes full circle, and you want to see that, and then everybody get good care, and then they can get the honors that they deserve for providing that great care. So it's wonderful to see that panning out. So a longer term view, we don't have too many more questions. We're going to wrap up eventually, y'all. But what are some of maybe more of your long-term goals here over the next few years and before you retire at some point?
Well, I may have skipped ahead a little bit, but I would say adding services is probably my biggest goal. Are there things that we can do here to add services to make our hospital more of a benefit to the community and to the county and to those we serve? And we're looking at various things. We're looking at is it possible to build a new hospital? We've talked about that. We've had some work done a little bit on that. Is that somewhere we go? The board is very adamant that if we even consider that, there will be no new taxes. It'll be funded out of our reserves, and it'll be funded out of fundraising and some of that. But very adamant that no new taxes if we decide to build a new hospital. So,
Right.
How do you make that work when you're talking about millions of dollars?
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest or the biggest pie in the sky, I would say. Is that where we can go?
Right.
So that's probably our biggest project. But we'd like to add services that make sense and things that we can do well. We don't want to ever do anything that we can't do well.
Right. Right. Yeah, and I totally understand. Without raising taxes, it's going to take more than just another fun run 5K to make that type of thing happen. But you can get creative, to raise a lot of money, and it's a noble goal, and keeping that quality, but over your time here to actually add services and amenities and things that people will take advantage of and help their quality of life and their healthcare needs. Now, is there anything else you would like to mention for our audience at home before we get into our RIP report question?
Oh, I don't know that there's anything else really, other than I'm just happy to be back. Happy to be back in Eastland, my hometown, and connecting with all the people that I grew up with. I have two board members that I graduated high school with, and still have friends in the community that we grew up and had a good time together. Maybe some things we can't tell our kids nowadays that we did, but we grew up and had a good time, and I'm just happy to be back home.
I get it. my dad told me the 80s were a time, but I'll leave it at that, and I understand. Well, with that being said, since this is the Rip Report, we have to ask a fun question inspired by Old Rip, the legendary horned toad here in Eastland. If you could rip one myth away from rural hospitals that kind of gets perpetuated out there, what would it be and why?
I think one myth that I would rip away is big cities aren't always better. It doesn't matter if you live in Eastland, Abilene is better healthcare. If you live in Abilene, Fort Worth is better healthcare. If you live in Fort Worth, Houston is better healthcare.
Yeah.
If you live in Houston, maybe it's Cleveland is better healthcare. So there's the myth that's perpetuated is that, the bigger city provides better healthcare. And I would argue that that's not the case, and that you do not get the personal touch in a Houston or a Fort Worth or Dallas that you can get in Eastland, Texas. So that would be the one myth I think that I would rip away if I could.
Right. Yeah, and that can make total sense, right? Like there might be a specialist where I can only get this done, or trusted with this person from the Mayo Clinic or whatever, right? But for my everyday needs,
Right.
I might not get the best, one-on-one care, don't sue me, Mayo Clinic or anything, but like I might not get it there, that I might get here. It's just maybe, right? So, and obviously if you're winning awards in those types of categories, it makes sense that you could get your everyday, good quality care right at home. Well, thank you for sharing that and playing along with us with our RIPS Report question of the day. Lastly, how can people find or get a hold of you?
Well, my door is always open. I'm on the first floor at the hospital. You come in through the Wellness Center entrance and ask for me, and they know how to find me. So anytime that anybody wants to stop by and visit about something, if they have some ideas about what they need, if they have some concerns about the care they received or whatever, I'm more than happy to listen at any time.
Awesome. Well, great to have that open door policy. So yeah, just come on down to Eastland Memorial Hospital with any questions, concerns. Clay will be here to help you out. Well, we want to thank you so much, Mr. Taylor, for having us here at Eastland Memorial Hospital. It's a pleasure to hear some of your story and your vision and your experience, and helps our community tremendously, more than we could talk about here. And thank you for supporting local journalism, for being on the show. It means a lot to me personally and our staff. So I want to thank you for that as well.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And those of you listening and watching, if you've enjoyed this interview, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. And consider subscribing to Eastland County Today for more local stories. We'll have a link in the description below to make that real easy. We have a print and digital edition. And I also want to remind you that Eastland County Today's office at 215 South Seaman Street here in Eastland, that is your Eastland County's authorized UPS drop-off and shipment center. So we'll be happy to take care of any shipping needs that you have there. And once again, this has been Eastland County Today's RIPS Report. I'm your host, Levi Freeman. Until next time, stay ripped. Eastland County Today's office is your local authorized UPS center. UPS shipping, drop-off, and pickup are available at 215 South Seaman, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., with UPS weekday pickups at 2 p.m. Eastland County Today is ready to help you with all your Christmas shipping and return needs.